evening, afternoon, morning, depending upon where you are in the city. Thank you for joining us on From the Halls of Justice. Today we have in the studio with us the it's Naser Khoury, and he is a fabulous attorney who is running for judgeship in 2016. And I am so excited to have you here with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be here.
Thank you for coming. Now, we would like to know, Naser Khoury, and June 2016, how difficult is it to run for judge?
Well, the process is very difficult because you have to be registered like any other campaign. You have to be on the ballot. There's going to be a great number of candidates that are running. They're all very qualified, good people. Some of them are district attorneys, deputy district attorneys. Some of them are private attorneys. Some of them are from the deputy attorney general office. Somebody's represented, and there's some civil attorneys as well as defense attorneys like myself.
Okay.
So there's it's really difficult.
Is it easier to get appointed or elected?
Oh my! to get appointed, it's actually much easier. You have to have a lot of political involvement. You have to have some connections to the governor's office. Mm-hmm. Some people really have to pull for you to speak on your behalf. That can speak to the governor, and it really all it takes is, Mr. Governor, this person is really highly qualified. I need you to do me a favor, or can you appoint this person? And that's all it takes. Whereas if you have to run, mm-hmm. you have to really, do a lot of fundraisers. You have to do a lot of activities to go out and meet the community as a whole. Mm-hmm. And you have to generate a lot of money in order to be able to run. So it's much easier to be appointed, than it is going through an election process.
Okay, and that we need to get you into more gubernatorial balls and presentations. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, what is your legal background and what qualifies you for a seat?
I have been an attorney. In June, it'll be exactly 25 years.
Okay.
I started my career working for the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. I was a prosecutor in my early on in my career. Mm-hmm. I worked as a deputy district attorney level 1 and level 2.
In what area of law?
It's all criminal prosecution.
Okay.
I worked in East Los Angeles Courthouse. Okay. I worked downtown. I worked in Silmar Juvenile Court. I worked in Lancaster Juvenile Court. And then I had an incredible amount of experience working for the district attorney's office. Thousands of cases where I handled a lot of preliminary hearing cases, misdemeanor trials, jury trials that I did from start to finish. So that was invaluable experience that I had with the district attorney's office. Mm-hmm. And then I left in August of '92. I wanted to hang my own shingle, basically be my own boss. Mm-hmm. And I became a private attorney. Okay. And when I started out, since I had to get my name out in the community because I've never done anything other than working for the district attorney's office, I started doing anything that comes through the door: civil cases, bankruptcy cases, immigration cases. And it was rewarding because here I am helping people in the community. Mm-hmm. People becoming legal, getting them green cards, helping people setting up businesses, setting up a corporation, helping them with their employees. People that were fired from their jobs, if they were fired improperly, get them experience going to court with them, getting them, labor disputes. Mm-hmm. So I did that for up till now, and I did also criminal defense, and I do federal as well as state court work. So I've been an attorney for 25 years. Wow. The only qualification that you need to become a judge is you need to have a minimum of 10 years of having active membership on the state bar. And I already exceed that. I have 25 years.
Well, I truly believe that a person who becomes a judge, they have a heart for people, because I know quite a few people who are attorneys, and they make a lot more than judges.
That is true.
So you really have to have a heart for people.
That is true. I really do want to serve the community. I serve the community in putting people in jail early on, and in punishing people for doing wrong against society, but also have been helping the community as a whole in protecting people's rights and their constitutional rights, and protecting and preserving their rights as individuals. And I've been helping the community in that aspect of it. But now my goal is to become a judge, which I can be a further assistance to the community. Have somebody on the bench as a judge who basically is going to be fair and just and give everybody an equal opportunity under the law.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How long have you been in Los Angeles County, and where were you before LA County?
I was born and raised in Jordan.
All right.
I came to this great country of ours when I was 13 years old. I came in 1978, and I have lived in Los Angeles County for the last 37 years.
Wow.
And truly, Wanda, when I tell you I am living the true American dream, it's beyond belief. That the fact that I'm living here, the fact that I graduated beyond high school, went to university level, beyond the university level to even a law school level, that's something I would have never been able to do had I stayed in my home country of Jordan. But this country has given me every opportunity, has become an attorney, become a deputy district attorney, and now I'm running for a judge. That's something I could never dream of doing back home.
The million-dollar question: what makes you a better candidate than your competition?
A lot of my competition are deputy district attorneys.
Okay.
Deputy district attorneys, all they do, and it's a great job that they do, basically they go out and prosecute individuals for committing wrong.
Okay.
But like I've mentioned earlier in my previous, discussions with you, is they don't know what it's like to help somebody to get a green card, to help somebody become a U.S. citizen, to help restore families, to help people start businesses. All they know is one thing, whereas I have an incredible exposure of being that private attorney that does civil, that does immigration, that does bankruptcy for people that, through no fault of their own, become indebted because of bad business decisions, and they have to get a fresh start.
Right.
I've done all of that. And on top of being a defense attorney, I'm also a professor. I teach business law at a community college. It's called El Camino Christian College in the Valley, and I've touched people's lives in that aspect of it. So I have the experience, I have the temperament, I have the knowledge of the law, and I'm somebody who is proactive and will be willing to follow the Constitution of the United States and the state of California. I'm not there to make law, I'm there to follow the law, obey the Constitution, and apply it fairly to people. And that's what distinguishes me from all my other colleagues or other candidates that are running.
Now, I'm sure you've been busy with the campaign, and what role does your family play in the campaign?
Oh, I have been so blessed. I tell you, I'm married to my wife. This year it'll be 22 years.
Oh, very good.
Yes, I am Middle Eastern, and my wife is Cuban, and she is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That's wonderful.
Truly, she is a dedicated wife, a dedicated mother. We have 3 beautiful children. My oldest, Layla, she's a first year of school at University of Southern California at USC. My son, he's in 11th grade at Heritage Christian School. And my daughter is 15, Maggie. She's also a freshman at Heritage Christian School. My wife and my children are behind me 100%. They know how difficult it is. They try to make my life so easy at home because I'm always there for them, tutoring them, teaching them with every class, participating in their life, in their sports. And now that I'm running for judge, they say, we understand that this is something that you've always wanted. My wife says, do everything that you can. Go out and win. Just don't ask me to come to any of the functions. And my wife is also an attorney.
Oh, that's awesome.
She is incredible.
So she really understands.
She truly understands.
Today, God bless them, is the day that they had all over the news that the First Lady Nancy Reagan passed away.
What a great loss.
And it was so moving and so tender, the shot that they showed of her over her husband's coffin, kissing him goodbye.
Yes.
And it was so tender. And it's just wonderful to hear that you appreciate your wife, because
Truly.
there's nothing like a good woman to stand behind or beside her man.
Absolutely.
And that's to know that somebody is with you like that.
Absolutely.
And it was just beautiful.
She's my soulmate. She's my, she's everything to me. Truly. She's given me a wonderful home, wonderful children. And I can't ask for any more.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, now, what type of seat are you running for? Who can vote for you?
Okay, the type of seat is, I've decided to run for what's called a vacant seat.
Okay.
There are, we're supposed to have, we thought we were going to have like 8 or 9 vacant seats, meaning that judges have retired or judges have passed on. Their seats become available, and some of them where the governor actually appoints people out of those seats, and then others are left for individuals to run that have no political connections in the process. So they have the opportunity to run for elections and put their name on the ballot.
How many seats are appointed for the election of the governor versus how many seats you have to run for?
The governor basically decides to appoint as many people as he wants. He has already made approximately 15 appointments up to this point.
How many seats are vacant?
Now there's only 3 vacant seats.
Okay.
And there's approximately 16 candidates.
Okay.
And I'm one of those 16 candidates. So now basically you're going to have 4 or 5 people per seat contesting in order to become a winner in June in the primaries.
Is this all in Los Angeles County?
This is only Los Angeles County.
Okay.
And what happens is you have to get 50.1% of the vote, of the entire vote, in order to win in June, on June 7th.
Okay.
If nobody gets the majority of the vote on June 7th, then basically the 2 highest vote getters will basically go into a face-off in November. Okay. Which is also the presidential election as well.
Right.
So now you're going to have 2 people that will continue to compete after June 7th until November for the that particular seat. So there's 3 seats. So you're going to have 6 candidates basically competing, but only 2 people per seat that will be competing after June the 7th. Okay. So chances are really good. I'm very active in a lot of communities. In the last 25 years, I have helped people from the African American community, from the Hispanic community, from the Asian community, from the Caucasian community, the Armenian community, the Arabic community. So I have touched a lot of lives, and believe me, Wanda, when I tell you, I have like a whole drawer of people sending letters telling me, you've changed my life. I want to thank you. My family thanks you, and it's just so touching and overwhelming to know that people, I never asked them to do it, and people just send these letters, and I'm always amazed. It's very humbling that when people do that and send you these things.
Well, I know from firsthand experience that you help people, and it doesn't matter who they are. You don't know who they are. And like I said, my mother is a piece of work, and you handled it so beautifully. I just stood back and watched, and you didn't know anything about her, except that you were helping an elderly woman.
That's it.
And that was it really blessed my heart.
Yeah.
So now, election day exactly, it's June 7th. If you win, then it's still going to be a runoff in November?
No,
or
if I get the majority of the vote on June 7th, 50.1% of the vote, then I automatically win. What's going to help me win truly is for people to register to vote if they are not registered to vote. And they can do, what's going to help also is having absentee ballot. People that can choose to do absentee ballot and vote prior to June 7th, that would be a tremendous help. Because what happens, those are guaranteed votes, and basically just whatever I get extra on the primary elections would help me even on top of that even more. So and I encourage people to go out and register. It's lavote.net. They can go online and they could register and they could request and to have absentee ballot where the county recorder's office will mail you the ballot starting on May 1st. They will mail you the ballot. All you have to do is go through everything from choosing a presidential nominee to senators to also judges and other things, other measures that may be on there. You fill everything out and you mail it and you vote for Naser Khoury for judge. And you choose that, and that will help me a lot.
Wow.
That would help a lot. June 7th is going to be hectic for people. People are not going to know where to go, what polling place to go. People are going to be nervous or they may forget. But doing it as an absentee ballot, that would be a guaranteed vote. People would vote on time, and it would be a benefit to my campaign.
Now, when they're voting, once again, in the County of Los Angeles, if there's a seat available anywhere from, as you've stated before, East LA or the West Valley, the Northeast Valley, it doesn't matter. Anybody anywhere
That's correct.
in Los Angeles County can vote.
That is absolutely correct. And in Los Angeles County, you have 11 million plus people. It goes all the way down to to the border of Orange County, to the border of San Bernardino, to the border of Kern County. Lancaster is also to the border of Kern County, to the border of Ventura County. So we're surrounded by 4 counties, and LA County is the largest in the country, and you have 11 million plus people. So it's difficult to reach all 11 million people. Believe me, it's very difficult unless I become a celebrity overnight where I'm on every TV station like some other people.
Well, let me ask you something. Are you running your law practice while you're running for judgeship?
That is correct.
That's a lot of work.
That is. I work every day from 8 to 5, and then once I finish work, I'm going to events, I'm going to community centers, I'm going to senior citizens' homes, I'm going to veterans' homes, I'm going to community council events where I would go and speak for 2-3 minutes. They would give you some groups will give you 60 seconds to introduce yourself. Some people give you 2 minutes. Introduce yourself. I go, I introduce myself. And I went to an event on Saturday at a Methodist church in LA, and some of the people were coming and saying to me, you know what? I've never met a judge in person. The fact that you showed up to our event to introduce yourself, that's enough for me.
Right.
Myself and my family and my friends were going to vote for you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's the wonderful reaction I've been getting. I'm going to churches to meet the congregations, because if people know that you're running, people see the name and they recognize the name, people will actually vote for you because most people don't know any of the judges.
Well, you're a real people person.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Wanda.
It's amazing because once again, your spirit that you care about the community.
Sure.
The way you do.
Sure.
And really, that's what people are interested in. People want someone sitting in a seat of power like that who definitely can listen and understand a part of their lives.
Absolutely.
That's so amazing. We just had Judge Mitchell in the studio.
Wonderful man.
And I was in awe of just what he does. And I was really impressed when you walked in the room and he knew who you were too. I'm like, oh my God, he knows everything. And he knows who you are. He knows everybody. He knows everything. And he has a heart for people.
Sure.
A true heart for people. And so really, after 25 years, and like I said, being an attorney, you make a good living.
That's true.
And
thank God.
After being an attorney, for someone to go from being an attorney to desire being a judge, that's really admirable.
Thank you. And people come up to me and say, wow, you're going to be taking a pay cut. It really is not. Being a judge is not about making money. Being a judge, it's being somebody that's going to make a difference in somebody's life. Being a judge, it's not just sitting on on the bench up high over people wearing a robe and here I am. It's treating people with respect, treating people with dignity. Just because somebody has the misfortune of breaking the law through sometimes by accident, sometimes not knowing the consequences, it doesn't mean they're not a human being. You have to treat people with respect and be fair, apply the law fairly, firm. When people do break the law, of course there's punishment. Everybody understands that. But when you mistreat them on top of being, punishing them, people they feel like they're, the system doesn't work. People, fear that the system is not working for them, that it's not just. But when you treat people with respect, I've seen judges where they greet the individual defendant, "Good morning, sir. How are you today?" It makes you as a human being feel, you know what? I am a human being. I did something wrong. I deserve to be punished. But on top of that, you're being treated with respect. Being, following the law as a judge, treating people with respect and fairness. That's what people want. People want to feel that, they are really being treated fairly, being treated with dignity. And some people are remorseful of things that they do. Some people, unfortunately, go out and drink and drive. And it basically touches people from a wide spectrum, from the richest of the rich to the poorest of the poor. Some people, are, neglect, the responsibility of saying, I drank too much. I shouldn't get on behind the wheel of the car. But it happens. Right. It doesn't mean just because they drank and drove, that means they're not a human being. They're evil. They're awful. People can still make mistakes, and they can still recover. And, just like as if you're a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion, you repent and you ask for forgiveness. The system needs to be able to do that for people as well.
Now, the good thing is that I don't drink, and I don't drink and drive. It's rare. I've had a glass of wine before, and so I will rosé. No, that's not true. Cabernet Sauvignon. Yes, I'm not a white wine drinker or rosé. Cabernet Sauvignon. That's what it is. So occasionally, but I don't believe in drinking and driving. And but everybody has done something at one point in time where they need to face up to responsibility, and they need to either admit it or fight it. I personally, I'll be going to court in April, and I didn't do it. It was a photo light. I didn't do it. However, I do like the fact that when you go to court, that somebody treats you with a certain level of understanding. And not like, get over there, big art.
Yes.
So, and I understand that there are hundreds of us that are there.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's hard. But we do appreciate it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'll be there fighting my ticket. But so with that being said, who do you have helping you with your family and friends, and is there some way that people can get involved to help you?
Absolutely. You have to hire a campaign manager, a consultant, which I hired.
Okay.
You also have to hire a treasurer, somebody that's gonna. I don't touch money at all, because it's you're being responsible. People are donating money to you. No mishandling of any money. So you hire a treasurer to deal with that aspect of it. They have to report. Because it's a campaign contribution, they have to report to the Secretary of State. I have friends and people, they're coming out and donating, and we have fundraiser events. Other people can also go on Naser Khoury for Judge.org, and they can make a donation online. That's how it is. We have to raise money to do advertising. We have to raise money to get on slates. These are mailers that go to targeting people who are registered voters that actually do vote. It costs money. And that's what the campaign, to become a judge, it's a campaign like any other office, whether you're running for Senate or Congress or a president. You know, there's money involved in running a campaign, and being a judicial election is just like any other campaign. So I'm constantly, you know, it's the hardest thing for me to. I was telling some friends to ask people for money. I've never done it before. Thank you, Jesus, for that. But it's like, it's so hard, but I have to ask people to support my campaign, to support it financially, to support it by going voting, to support it. Some people donate food to events. Some people donate their time. Some people donate art, like this was done by a friend of mine. The you know, setting up of the artwork, you know, electronically, they do that. Some people volunteer their time by, you know, participating as a DJ for an event. Some people give their food or drinks or what have you. So I've been receiving a lot of respect from people in the community that are happy that I'm running.
Right.
One thing that I would just let you know, Rhonda, there's 11 million plus people in the county of LA. There's only one judge that is of American Arab descent on the bench. And God willing, I will be the second.
All right.
And God willing, that I will be. I'm truly.
And I'm going to let you go with that, Rhonda, because I'm Wanda.
Wanda.
But that's okay, because I know that your campaign manager is Rhonda. And that's okay. And I really like her. I really like her.
Thank you, Wanda.
You know, she's one of the hardest working women I know.
Yes.
So that's really good.
And I've been blessed. I've been surrounded. All my people that are helping me are women. Okay. And I'm so blessed. My campaign manager, my treasurer, my wife, you know, and so many people. You, like yourself, invited me to your campaign.
No, well,
to your
church,
show.
Well, let me ask you this: what type of attorney is your wife?
My wife does family law, and she does personal injury, some cases of perjury, and immigration. Okay. She goes out and she gets appointed by the court as minors counsel, meaning that the judges trust her so much that they appoint her to make an assessment as where the children should be placed. She meets with the children, she meets with both the mom and the dad, and then she makes an assessment of what their living conditions are, and she makes a recommendation to the judge as should this kid be with mom, should this be with dad, or both parents, and the judge basically either follows her recommendation or makes their own ruling. But because the judges don't have the time that when you appoint somebody who's a minors counsel to take the time to really see what's in the best interest of those children, and that's exactly what she does. The judges trust her, they trust her experience, and they trust her opinion.
Well, we got to give a shout out to your wife. We've got 30 seconds. What's your wife's name?
Her name is Naser Khoury.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
Naser, thank you for allowing the upcoming honorable, we hope to have him as Judge Khoury in the next election of 2016. And I think that the way you treat people, it just shines from the biggest honor I've ever had is to talk to the Superior Court. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for
Wanda.
being here. I'm
Thank
from
you.
the Halls of Justice, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Wanda.
you.